Good afternoon and welcome to Radio Row, Super Bowl 57 here in Phoenix. Great friends to my left and to my left here with Roy Kessel and I from Sports Philanthropy Network. Ann and Dave, welcome to Radio Row. Dave, this isn't the first time we've seen either of the two of you. You were here with us last year, right?
Yep.
I met you, I believe it was last year at Darren Gray's Heart of a Champion event, and you shared your testimony. And
Yes.
it took me by storm. It like literally pulled me by the guts. And I know that's not very feminine, but it's the truth. Um, Amazing testimony. NFL alumni made it big. I mean, really big, like 1 in 4,000 big, right? I'm going to let you share a little bit of that story and
Uh-huh.
introduce us to Annmarie, okay?
Very cool. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was at the Heart of a Champion that we met, and that was the first time that I shared my story amongst my peers. I have a story of making some poor decisions that took me down to a place that I'm not proud of. But my testimony is what God's done for me since, and lifted me up and put me back into a position in what I think is a great comeback story. And so when I got done telling my story, the other person that I have not shared it in front of was Annmarie. And so I was a little apprehensive. You know, it was easy for me to tell the story for people that are struggling because they get it. But for me to walk up and tell people that I struggled, that maybe haven't ever dealt with that, and then also to have her here, the kind of the real, um, when I got done and I got back to the table, to have her look at me and tell me how proud she was of me and that I did a great job, I knew that that was something special. So this year we did it again. They asked me to come back and share my story again, and since then, she's actually heard me tell my story to people in treatment, where it got to the nitty gritty. Once again, when I got done, she greeted me with that great smile. You can see it right there. I can see it, yeah. And telling me how proud she was of me and that I did a great job. And so I got done with my testimony today, and another great sign of what God's doing for me is putting this great woman in my life. And so I asked her to marry me, uh, and thank goodness she said yeah. So it was really cool.
Well, so first of all, guys, congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank
Anne
you.
Marie, you're a very special person. I know you have a heart of gold. What
Thank you.
you know somebody and you know that they have a past, and that doesn't stop you because you see a future, right?
Absolutely. And then also when you truly think about it, all of us have a past. Everyone has something that they have done or that they could be ashamed of, whether it's they did it themselves or maybe it's their family or friends. Maybe you just put yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. Everyone has something. So I think as you grow and you try to be a little wiser, you understand that about people in general. And this man next to me has a heart of gold. He does so much for the community, so many things for kids. He has a great big heart for veterans and players coming out of the league who are trying to get started. And it is just amazing and wonderful to watch. And I have been on a journey with him, not for his whole life, but for a short time. But I am just so proud of him and all the things that he does.
Well, so first of all, I'm going to say, much better to be happily married for 30, 40, 50 years than unhappily married for 80, right? Number one. Number two, Anne Marie, you mentioned a lot of the things that Dave has been busy with, and I know you've been right by his side through these things, right?
Correct.
Go ahead, you guys, and just tell us, like, this week alone, start from the day you got out here to the day you leave, and just kind of rattle off the
So,
charity events that you guys are working on.
so I will tell you, it's been great to have her by my side. I tease her; she's my navigator, so we've been lost twice, but at least we get there. But I will tell you, she's got everything written down, and we got in Sunday evening. Our first event was Monday morning. We went to Tullison High School, spoke about financial literacy to 500 students, and gave them and planted seeds. And I will tell you, the best behaved group of high school students I have ever been in front of, and asking poignant questions. I was there with Lonnie Young, and Chris Warren, another Seahawk great, and Trent Clark, three-time World Series Major League Baseball coach, and a couple other people. It was a great deal. Tuesday, we went over to Basket of Hope, and we assembled 400 baskets and 400 totes for kids and families of kids that are seriously ill and have been in hospitals for extended periods of time. It was really neat. Just before we hopped on here, Kayla, we went over and we virtually delivered them with a robot from the laptop, and we're navigating them with the keypad, and then we were able to interact with them via a video screen and talk to them and deliver those baskets of hope to the hospital from here. It was awesome. So let's see, what day is that? That's Tuesday.
That's
It was
Tuesday.
Tuesday, and then Wednesday or this morning we were at another high school, Millennial High School, talking to 200 young men with Michael. Oh gosh, Michael Montgomery, and then
Jimmy.
rock star dude, Jimmy Bell, and Ronald Grant, Reggie Grant. I'm sorry, and we're just dumping wisdom on them. We're just dumping old guy wisdom and trying to mentor them, and that was a blast doing this. And then we're heading off to Ditka and Jaws from here. A cigar party with a bunch of Hall of Famers and doing cool stuff, and we'll be back here tomorrow for a little bit, and then NFLPA. Oh yeah, there's an NFLPA
NFLPA party
barbecue.
last night.
Yeah, last night. NFL VIP deal, and really Saturday's a blast. We get to go to the NFL breakfast, honoring Kirk Cousins with the Bart Starr Award. That's always neat because that's just good character guys in this sport. Great examples of how to carry yourself with all the fame and all the other things that can bring people down. So these are always great guys. Last year was Russell Wilson. So that was really a neat treat. And then Lee Steinberg's party,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go hang out with. You mentioned Randy Grimes.
Yeah.
Randy also I met at Heart of a Champion and at the Dick and Jaws event, and we're gonna do sober Super Bowl with him and a group of other NFL players. And surround ourselves with people that are maybe struggling themselves, and so we get a chance to do that and be examples.
So I want to say, with the fame and the NFL accolades comes all of this opportunity, right? But you could just eat that in and rest on your laurels and prance around. You're out here serving the community. I see your NFLPA hat. You're doing a lot of work in Orange County as well. You want to just share what you're doing with the NFL there?
Yeah, and I want to share this too. I mean, anybody that's watching, I know you guys have some great guests. You've had Lonnie Young on, you've had Chris Draft on. These are guys that are dudes. These are 12-year guys, 8-year guys, and people that are names that fans would know. I'm not one of those guys, and the reason why I'm involved with the NFLPA is because I want to convey to guys like me is that we're still a value. We're still a value to the community, and we can still do great things and be of value. And so what we do a lot with the veteran community. As a matter of fact, October 30th, before Halloween, a handful of us went down to Camp Pendleton and we handed out goodie bags and candy to kids of families that are being deployed. So think about the stress of a family and what's about to happen. And we were bringing smiles to families and kids and giving them just a moment of just not thinking about that. So things of that nature. We're around the community. We go to high schools. We work with young people. We do a lot with veterans. We aligned ourselves with the American Legion and had a big meeting there. So we just like to get involved, and I want to encourage guys like me to get involved in the community.
And Dave, I think that you hit on a really important point there. Saying you're not a name that people. It's the names of people that we care about and that we see out there are the ones that are doing good in the community, and that's something that lasts a lot longer than your playing career. Even guys that were amazing players, if Sean Alexander was not doing all the incredible things that he does in the community right now, how many people would even remember that he was an NFL MVP? And we're talking only 15 years ago.
Right.
You look at people such as yourself and some of these others that you named that really give back in a meaningful way on an ongoing basis, not just once a year to making it to get the headlines while be at the Super Bowl, but people who are doing it every day, every week, every month. It's so important, and I give you a ton of credit for that because in a lot of respects, you're overcoming more hurdles than those star players are because building up your name and your reputation because of what you're doing off the field, not because you were at the top of the mountain, so to speak, on the field and then being able to just coast downhill.
Right. And I'll tell you, Roy, doing that and taking that approach, that being of service, and creating relationships, and versus having an agenda. So, and that's another thing I teach young people is that, whenever we do something like this, there's no agenda here. We're not here you're not paying me to be here. I'm not trying to get something from you. But what we're doing is we're forging a relationship. And between us, we're building something and we're building a network and broadening a network. For instance, with the Basket of Hope, the virtual thing that we just did, where we delivered those baskets on a computer, I was able to go bring other guys, Lonnie and Chris and Trent, and have them also do it. They didn't, the Basket of Hope didn't have that relationship. So I don't know how they were going to facilitate it, but having that network of people by being of service. And that's what we're creating, having that purpose, forging those relationships, and we can do a lot of things together. If you're having an agenda and there's just a dollar sign across you and you're trying to get something, it's just about, then that's about you and you're going to lose. You're not going to get anything from it. But if
Quick,
what can I do for you? What can I do to create value for you? That's a win, right? Then we're going to do something together. And that's what I think this is all about.
Yeah, Dave, if you remember after we met, shortly thereafter, I said, "Hey, Dave, I have this podcast. It's called Legacy After the Locker Room. And it's only for professional athletes, but it's really about the legacy
Mm-hmm.
that we're creating after sports, right? Like I've dedicated my life to creating hope and possibility. When I die and my grandkids ask my kids, tell me about my grandma,
Mm-hmm.
I want that to be my legacy, right? She worked hard to create hope and possibility for the people who needed it the most.
Indeed.
Annmarie,
I agree.
what about you? Like, how are you helping Dave through all of this? Or are you the one leading it and he's following
No,
you?
he's definitely the leader. He's been doing this for a very long time. I am just so proud of him, and I'm just here to support him and to help him with the things that he needs. I love volunteering myself. I volunteered for several years ago before in between and when I had a family and children, and now I feel like I'm able to give my time and service again, and it really does change your life. It really makes a difference to not only to yourself and to how you feel about yourself, but to the community around you and the people and the relationships that you forge as you go forward. I am, as supportive as I can be. I love watching him do it. And Baskets of Hope, I will say this very quick little story when Dave was doing his virtual delivery, he asked the recipient if she would give him an okay on his virtual driver's license. She kind of went, eh. So there's something we can work on and build from.
Hey, how come all of a sudden back on driving? I'm giving a hard time about navigating. Now she's jabbing me about my driving. I think that's a passive aggressive. I don't know.
Hey, you're engaged now. This is what women do.
This is where the truth comes out. This one, oh, that's how it works. Okay.
but my real point is I really do love supporting him and watching him grow, and I'm looking forward to growing with him, and I think that's the best part of being in a relationship like this and wanting to having some of the same goals. It really is wonderful. So I look forward to all the service that we're gonna create together.
Well, I said this last night, when I talked about too how she, greeted me after speaking about something that's really difficult, is that she is my biggest cheerleader, and it's easy to have fun doing this. It's easy to have fun going to VIP parties at the Rose Bowl. It's fun. It's easy to be, a guest of whatever it is. and the fun stuff. That's easy to find a cheerleader for that. But when you're struggling or you're sharing something that's really difficult and you're greeted with a smile and that hey, I'm proud of you. You did a great job. That's when I was hooked. Yep.
Yeah, well, call me old fashioned, but it's really refreshing to see a man who leads and a woman who's the cheerleader supporting him right on. That's pretty powerful and it's neat to see.
Well, and Kayla, you wouldn't want to see me in a cheerleader outfit, so.
You know what, Dave? Nope, I don't think I would. On that note, my name is Kayla Bradham, here with Roy Kessel of Sports Philanthropy Network. Dave and Annmarie, thank you so much for joining us. More
Thank you.
importantly, your humility, your transparency, your vulnerability, your cheerleader attitude. It's all beautiful. You make the world a better place. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for helping us build stronger, healthier,
Thank
and
you.
more
Thank you.
inclusive communities.
Appreciate you
Hey,
so
thanks
much.
for having us on. Hey, Roy and Kayla, I do want to say, having getting to know you, I appreciate what you guys do. I see you guys out. You're always out, and you're always lifting people up. So don't quit doing what you're doing. There's a handful of people in here that I would never hesitate to do anything for, and you guys are one of them. So anything I can ever do to support you, you guys let me know.
That means the world to us.
All
On
right.
that note, let's remind everybody to live generously.
Yep.
Thank you.